All right. This is our presentation for social support with Jen and Vivian. What is social support? Social support is defined as the responsiveness to another's needs, acts that communicate caring. The importance of social support. Social support gives social integration. People who have a higher number of social ties and more connections among them tend to have lower levels of mortality. So there are different types of social support. Visible and invisible. Perceived support tends to be beneficial, whereas actual support may be beneficial or detrimental. So we're going to go through an example with this with Mary and John, who are in a relationship, and John is training for a marathon. Now, we know in order to train for a marathon, you need to run every day, work out, and practice. So within this example, visible support is when the recipient knows he or she has received the support. So in our example, Mary wants to show her support by asking John every night how far he has ran that day or how much he has trained. And so John sees that Mary is giving her support. So that's how it is a visible support. An advantage to visible support is that individuals are content because they are aware that they have the support and have others that care about them. So John sees how much Mary cares and wants to keep him on track with his training. Now, a disadvantage with visible support is it could potentially trigger anxious and depressed mood. People receiving help feel as if they are incompetent. So a disadvantage may be John feels that Mary doesn't think he is on top of his training, and maybe one day if he decides he wants a day off or he didn't find the time to work out, her asking him may make him feel bad and disappointed with himself. And going into invisible support. Invisible support is when the recipient does not notice the support. So in our example, Mary could do so by keeping healthy snacks or food out for John because she knows that it'll keep his body in good shape, keeping him healthy. Another example could be Mary asks him on a personal level, hey, want to go on a jog with me or some sort of exercise activity, subtly, but doing these things is intentionally helping John without him knowing. So an advantage to invisible support is that individuals are cared for in a thoughtful and subtle way. They may notice small things in their daily life that a close one has made easier for them. So Mary leaving out the food, healthy snacks, makes John's life a little easier because he doesn't have to cling to like a fast food or something if he was running out of time. It helps his day out. And yeah. A disadvantage with invisible support is that individuals may not notice the subtle support and believe that nobody cares about them. So with our example, John may notice that Mary hasn't asked him how things are going and thinks that she doesn't care about his training. So yeah. Here is a video that we found that may further explain invisible and visible support.
I know I can do this. So really visible support might look like, hey, you're great, you're going to be okay. Invisible emotional support might look something more like, oh, when I'm feeling that way, I kind of think to myself, I know I can do this. So, providing an idea, providing a way to feel better without saying, you need to do this. It's kind of giving a supportive idea without necessarily directing the other person to do one thing or another. Well, a lot of the support research has had a hard time finding when support works and when it doesn't. So sometimes they find that knowing that you've received support actually makes you feel worse, or it doesn't help. So it seems like there's something about knowing you've received support that might make you feel like, oh, this problem is bigger than I thought it was. Or maybe it makes you feel like, oh, now I've received support, I need to do something for this person. Maybe you feel a little indebted. Or maybe it makes you feel like this person doesn't think I can handle this problem on my own.
It does take two. It's the
And that's that.